Well, hello and welcome. If you are catching this on a replay with a YouTube link, thank you so much for just checking it out and joining our class. Our class is Clean Spring Cleaning, and I just want to welcome you. If you don't know me yet, my name is Nina Cecina, and when I introduce myself, I feel like I wear all these different hats. I'm a former special ed teacher, pastor, certified aromatherapy coach, certified raindrop technique specialist, licensed spiritual healer, and really, long story short, all of that is to say, why do I do what I do? It's because I am a survivor of autoimmune disease. I got into remission from autoimmune ITP with alternative treatments, and that's what really opened my eyes to health and wellness in general, natural remedies, and natural ways to support my health so that I could stay healthy and not fall ill again. And praise God, I've been in remission for over 17 years. And it really, God put it on my heart a long time ago to start sharing what I learned so that I could help others who are struggling with their health. So if that's you, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I am recording this on a Saturday morning, and so I am double fisting my drinks, okay? I've got a mango smoothie and a cup of coffee. So welcome. I like to teach my classes like we're all just kind of hanging out, grab something to drink. I do in-person classes up here where I live in the Pacific Northwest. And, I realized when people come to see me in person, there's so many people out of my area that I miss out on getting to know and sharing information with. So I'm glad you're here. Let's go ahead and get started. I am going to share my screen. I've got some PowerPoint slides here for you. Let's see. Let me make sure this comes on right. And let's start back at the beginning. There we go. So our class is spring cleaning, tips about toxins and policing your products. So we're going to be talking about spring cleaning, but not just cleaning our house. We're going to be talking about cleaning our bodies as well, because there's so many things in our home environment that can be harmful to our health. This is one of those things that I wish I knew when I was struggling with autoimmune ITP, because I just didn't know. I didn't know what I was putting in my body as far as, food and whatever. And I didn't realize what I was putting on my body could have been and probably was harming me. So we're gonna cover a broad scope. You're probably gonna want to take notes. So if you've got a piece of paper or if you take notes on your phone or whatever, I do have a cheat sheet for our class that's just a 1-page cupboard clean out document, and I would love to send that to you. All I need is your email. So if you're catching this on YouTube, go down to that little notes section below the video. I've got my contact information down there. Drop me a note or an email and let me know, hey, I would like the cupboard clean out cheat sheet, and I will email it over to you. We start our class out with, I feel bad like being the bearer of bad news. It's going to sound like bad news, bad news, bad news. There's all these possible ways that we can be harming ourselves. But I promise if you hang in there with me, there's going to be good news at the end, because the good news is we are the gatekeepers of our home. We get to control what comes into our environment. And there are some different ways and some clean products that we can use in our homes. But here's the bad news first. Here are some statistics. 609,000 Americans will die from cancer this year. That's 1,670 deaths per day. 1 in 3 men and 1 in 5 women will have cancer by the age of 60. Cancer is the second most common cause of death. Heart disease happens to be the first. The American Cancer Society says only 5% of these cases are from gene defects. That's actually good news because that means 90 to 95% of cases of cancer are under our control. We're going to be looking at toxins in our homes that could potentially cause cancer, and we get to be in control of that. We get to say no thank you with our buying dollars and have clean products for our home and hopefully not be one of those statistics. I truly believe the cure is in prevention. And I say that regarding cancer, I say that regarding autoimmune disease. There's so much research going on for cures for things, and we need to keep doing that. I'm not saying we need to shut down medical research. But as we're searching for cures for all these different kinds of cancer, all these different kinds of diseases, my personal belief is the cure is in the prevention. If we know about all of these toxins and we stop using them and we don't put those harmful things on our body, we can prevent things happening. And that really is the key. The National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health studied 2,983 ingredients in our products and our home. And here is what they found. There's 884 toxic ingredients. 314 ingredients cause biological mutations. 218 caused reproductive problems. 146 that they know of caused cancerous tumors. And these ingredients are allowed in the US, but they are banned in other countries, which really blows my mind when we think about what's allowed, what the FDA studies, what they say yes and no to, versus what we see in other countries. That includes food. Even food companies will be allowed to put toxic ingredients in food sold in the United States, but that same company selling food or snacks or packaged food over in Europe, totally different ingredients. The impact on us. 26 seconds after exposure, chemicals are found in the human body. The average woman applies 300 chemicals per day. That's 80 before breakfast. So if you just take a moment to take that mental inventory and think about what are all of the products we use starting as soon as we wake up, depending on your order of personal care, right? We brush our teeth, we take a shower. How many products do we use in the shower, right? Shampoo, shower gel, face wash, hair conditioner, shaving cream. I get out of the shower, I'm putting on face cream, lotion, deodorant, toothpaste, all the different things that we use. And even, I don't even have this on the screen, but there have been studies found in babies' cord blood that when newborns are born and they test the cord blood, they are finding toxins, all different things that have been already infused into that infant's body while it's in utero. Now there's a listing for the top 10 most dangerous chemicals. Air fresheners. All right, and all of these, we're going to talk about all of these to find some healthier options. Air fresheners, that includes plugins and candles. Chemical cleaning supplies. So if we count all of those in the parentheses, we're going to get to our 10 chemicals. Counters, floors, toilets, drains, oven cleaners, furniture polish, dishwasher soap, dish detergents. The number one is laundry soap, fabric softener, and dryer sheets. Honestly, we could dedicate a whole class just to laundry chemicals. We're going to give it a couple of slides on here. We'll talk about it though. And then there's other dangers such as hairspray, hair gel, shampoo, conditioner, deodorant. So we're going to be looking at all of those, talking about what's in them so that we can find some healthier options. So number one, if you're taking notes, Number one is fragrance. At my house, we call that the F word. Right? Did you laugh? I know. It's okay. We can laugh about it. But here's the deal. The US regulations do not require disclosure of all ingredients in a consumer product or of any ingredients in a mixture called, quote, fragrance. A single synthetic fragrance in a product can contain hundreds of chemicals, some of which react with the ozone in ambient air to form dangerous secondary pollutants, including formaldehyde. When I hear the word fragrance and I look for that on the label, here's what my mind thinks, right? You can write this down if you want to quote me. Chemical cocktail of unknown origin. Chemical cocktail of unknown origin. Fragrance is a whole host of toxic chemical things that the FDA does not have to disclose. The company doesn't have to disclose what's in that. They call it a trade secret, kind of like saying intellectual property. They don't have to disclose it so that another company can't copycat it and steal their secret formula of their fragrance. The chemical pollutants, the fragrances, adversely affect human health by causing damage to the central nervous system, changing hormone levels, or increasing allergies and respiratory disease. Now, here's a challenge. Look at the products that you use. Look for the F word. Look for the word fragrance. Unfortunately, unless you've already started cleaning out some of your products, there's a chance you're going to find it in almost everything. It's in soap, hand soap, body soap, shower gel, shampoo, conditioner. It's in face wash. It's in lotion. It's going to be in everything because companies and consumers want things to smell good. That's the bad news. The good news is there are other ways to smell good without toxic chemicals. If you're taking notes, number 2 on our list is going to be sodium lauryl sulfate. Sometimes that's also called sodium laureth sulfate. Sometimes we just abbreviate that as SLS, but on a label, it's going to say sodium lauryl or laureth sulfate. The purpose of that ingredient is to make foaming products sudsy. It makes them foam. We're conditioned to believe that lots of foamy soap bubbles means something is clean or that it's getting clean. That's a myth. It's an urban legend. You don't need super foamy bubbles in order for something to get clean. SLS is linked to neurotoxicity, organ toxicity, skin irritation. It's an endocrine disruptor. Your endocrine system is your hormones. When we start disrupting our hormones, that wreaks havoc on our health in ways that we can't even imagine. When that happens, we have a really hard time connecting the dots on a product and how our body is functioning. We'll find SLS in anything that foams, right? So think of soaps, shower gels, liquid hand soap kind of things, dish soap, lotions, shampoo, conditioner. It's even in toothpaste. Make sure when you're checking labels for stuff, when you've got your list of cupboard clean out toxins, make sure you're checking stuff like toothpaste and deodorant. Parabens are another toxic thing that we're going to check labels for. Usually we're going to see paraben at the end of a word that starts with a prefix. So we're going to see words like methylparaben, ethylparaben, propylparaben. So look for a prefix and then the ending part that says paraben. They're used to reduce the growth of bacteria in skincare products and cosmetics, kind of like a preservative. But here's what they do. They harm fertility and reproductive organs. They may turn on the growth hormone of hormone receptor positive breast cancers. And they may disrupt our hormonal balance, which can lead to early puberty or increased risk of hormonal cancers. As somebody who has struggled with hormone balance, I've had menstrual cycles for years that are, a huge struggle. I'll just leave it at that, long story short. And I also struggled with infertility. And I can't help but wonder if the products I was using basically my whole entire life until a handful of years ago, if that played a factor in that kind of a struggle. Look for parabens in products such as shampoo and conditioner, shower gel, moisturizers, shaving creams, and cosmetics. As you're looking at ingredient labels, check your cosmetics, look at your lipstick, your lip gloss, your mascara, stuff like that, because the truth is anything we put on our skin and on our face, our body is going to absorb. Your skin absorbs about 60% of what we put on it. So on one hand, we go, yes, the skin is a barrier. That's a good thing, but the skin is more like a sieve. It barriers out some stuff, but it lets in about 60%. So if we're putting toxic things on our skin, a big portion of that is going to absorb. Propylene glycol is used to bring extra moisture into skincare and hair products. Also look for the initials PEG, which is polyethylene glycol. They're pretty much related. They're derived from petroleum. Okay, I say that with a pause because petroleum is something we don't want on our body. And we've gotten really used to products that have petroleum in them. So as you're looking for propylene glycol, if you're taking notes, put a little asterisk by petroleum, right? That gooey chest rub, I try not to name product names, gooey chest rub that smells like that vapor stuff, right? Petroleum disrupts your endocrine system. Vaseline, is that a name brand, right? Try not to, name and shame name brands. Vaseline, anything that's that texture. Some of those healing ointment lotion products have petroleum in them. It's an endocrine disruptor. There are things we can use without petroleum. Propylene glycol can irritate eyes and cause allergies. It can cause damage to the central nervous system, liver, and heart. We're going to look for propylene glycol in things like makeup, lip gloss, mascara, and toothpaste. Look for it in toothpaste. And I also recently had an experience where I found it in imitation vanilla extract at the grocery store. Not that I enjoy using imitation vanilla extract, but in our home, we don't use any products with alcohol. Typical vanilla extract is vanilla beans soaked in alcohol. And so vanilla extract is about 35% alcohol. So we don't use alcohol in our home. And I always look for alcohol-free vanilla. You can find it. Usually I get it at Trader Joe's. My Trader Joe's is an hour away and I couldn't get there recently. And I ended up buying some vanilla online. I read the label. It was what I decided I wanted in my ingredients. That was alcohol-free, but I had gone to the grocery store in search of it. And when I looked at, they didn't actually have alcohol-free vanilla. All they had was like the regular kind with alcohol and then imitation vanilla. The imitation vanilla had propylene glycol in it, which really grossed me out because I don't want to cook and bake with propylene glycol. So I said, no, thank you to the grocery store. I found what I wanted on Amazon and I was able to purchase something I was satisfied with. Triclosan, also known as triclocarbon, and it's common in antibacterial products. I know we've got a whole little list of notes over here on the side, but here's the deal with triclosan. A handful, and it used to be remember when antibacterial soap was all the rage? And we had to make sure we were killing all the bacteria when we were washing our hands. Well, the FDA decided, right? They realized that triclosan was harmful. They deemed it a pesticide. They classified it as a pesticide, and they removed it from all of the antibacterial hand soap. But it was still found in other products such as toothpaste. Does that blow your mind? Okay, are you sitting, is your jaw dropping along with mine? The FDA said it's not safe to wash our hands with, but they've deemed it still safe to put in our toothpaste that goes in our mouth. Check your toothpaste. Animal studies showed lower testosterone and sperm production as an outcome of triclosan. It may affect the thyroid. It may contribute to increased allergies. It may contribute to resistant strains of bacteria, and it upsets the gut microbiome. The gut microbiome could be a whole other class, but I want you to think about the gut-brain connection. There's a connection between our gut and our brain. All of the feel-good chemicals in our brain, right? All of those neurotransmitters, all of those things that, emotionally make us feel good, those are manufactured in your gut, along with 70% of your immune system exists in your gut. If we disrupt our gut, we are messing with our mental health and we're messing with our immune system. So, total side note, again, this could be a whole other class for supporting our gut. In order to support overall health, make sure we're not disrupting it with triclosan. All right, now I promised a couple minutes ago that I don't like to name and shame when it comes to companies and name brands and stuff like that, but I do get a little hot under the collar when it comes to greenwashing. And in Mrs. Meyer's defense, I believe that a lot of these healthy type product companies started out with the right intention. They started out on the right foot with a good, clean product. But then they got bought out by a bigger company that then changed the ingredients in the product, but kept the healthy name that they had possibly rightfully earned. I'm going to assume, again, I haven't done a deep dive of research into this particular product or company, but I'm going to assume that that probably is what happened here. When we look at Mrs. Meyer's label, so this is a little lesson in label reading. Here's what we're going to look for. When I look at the front, and this is me standing in the Walmart aisle, okay? So I'm looking at the front label. It says lemon verbena scent. It's a dish soap. It says biodegradable on the bottom. It has a nice clean looking label. Then we turn it over and we look at the back of the label. And it says made with cleaning ingredients. It's made with essential oils. It's made without parabens and phthalates. It's made, without artificial colors. Here's a little red flag. Anytime you read a label and it has in big, bold letters what's not in it, look at the ingredients and make sure you know what is in it. Sometimes that could be, how do they say it? A red herring, right? It's a diversion to, to get your attention. Again, that's not always the case. I do use some excellent clean products that do say without, and they're fantastic products, but it's just that little tip. Anytime you see big, bold without, just check the label to see what's within. Because when we look down at the ingredients down here, I don't know if my little pointer will point. The first ingredient is water. The second ingredient is sodium lauryl sulfate. Okay, for me personally, now you do you. For me personally, that's my put it back on the shelf, no thank you. That's one of my deal breakers. The toxins that we're talking about in our class today and there's tons of them. I could overwhelm you. We could spend our lifetime researching every single chemical word, every single harsh chemical, right? No, nobody has time for that. I'm giving you like my top 5 or my top 6 deal breakers, because if we stay clear of those, we're steering clear of, a lot of whatever else could be in something. The other thing I notice on this label down here at the bottom, so then it has lots of other things. It has some essential oil words in it. I see the word fragrance and geranol. I know, because I've studied enough essential oils, constituent words for like a molecular constituent that's in an essential oil. Okay, so geranol is a constituent that's in geranium essential oil. But putting the name of the constituent on the ingredient label is a code or a clue for the fact that that one constituent was manufactured in a chemistry lab and pulled out to smell good, where there's no actual nature plant in that product. Does that make sense? We're talking chemistry lab created fragrance versus they steam distilled flowers and plants for this product. Down here at the bottom, there's another F word, contains fragrance allergens. Contains fragrance allergens. Again, for me, a big no thank you. But here's what's interesting. Now, Great Value is Walmart brand. So this is the Walmart brand lemon verbena dish soap. So we're comparing lemon verbena dish soap brand versus brand. So we look at the cover, or the front label. Let's come over here to the back label. We see all of the ingredients, and Walmart brand even shows you the purpose for each ingredient, because that, they want for us to believe that they're being transparent, they're being upfront, and that their product is something safe for us to use. Again, first ingredient, water. Second ingredient, sodium lauryl sulfate. We come all the way down here to the bottom. There's our F word, fragrance. And so my point is, unfortunately, Mrs. Meyer's and Walmart have the same ingredients in them. Mrs. Meyer's is no better than Great Value brand. I'm not trying to name and shame stores or companies, but I want for you to have open eyes when you go into stores and when you start looking at labels. Just because something is a name brand that has gotten a good reputation doesn't mean it's any better than a discount brand when the ingredients are the same. I shop a lot at Walmart for stuff like groceries, and I have spent a lot of time in their aisle for personal care products like shampoo and conditioner and shower gel. I've spent a lot of time in their dish soap aisle because I don't have a dishwasher. I wash dishes by hand. So I want a nice, healthy dish soap. And again, I can't globalize. You've got to check your own stores and where you shop. But at my Walmart in my town, I don't buy any of those products at Walmart because I've read every single label. I cannot buy dish soap at Walmart, and I don't buy personal care products at Walmart. There's nothing in their store that does not have fragrance or one of those other ingredients that I refuse to use. I apologize if I'm sounding snobby about the products that I use in my home, but after almost dying from a rare autoimmune disease, I'm not willing to risk my health to buy a discount product because of convenience or because of my budget. So, like I said, laundry soap could be a totally other class, because when we talk about laundry soap, the toxins in that are different than the toxins in fabric sheet softener and the toxins in fabric sheet. So I keep stumbling on that. Fabric softener and dryer sheets, okay? Fabric softener and dryer sheets have their own set of toxins. You can Google that. Toxins in fabric softener, toxins in dryer sheets. I encourage you to take your health into your own hands and start Googling some stuff like that and see what you can find. So here's just a tidbit about laundry soap. Laundry soap has an ingredient called, I can never say this word. Do you pronounce it with the PH or the TH, right? So I've heard people say phthalates or phthalates. Sorry, I'm going to stumble on that until, the cows come home. But it's often labeled as fragrance, and it's linked to hormonal disruption and reproductive issues. Again, I can raise my hand on that. I have had those issues. Is this why? We'll never know, right? Formaldehyde, which is a preservative and it's a carcinogen. 1,4-dioxane. Now, I'm pretty sure I have seen that listed as ingredients in things. But here's what's interesting. In laundry soap, you won't find it on the list of ingredients per se, but it's a contaminant that occurs through manufacturing. So it's not in it, like it's not put in it on purpose, but it occurs in the manufacturing process, and then it's in there when you purchase the product, if that makes sense. It is a carcinogen. Another one I can't say, right? Let's sound it out. Or let's just say NPEs. They're a surfactant. A surfactant is that thing that breaks down the grease and, releases that to be dissolved in water. It's hormone disrupting, and it's harmful to aquatic life. If that's harmful to aquatic life, I don't want to be soaking my clothes in it and putting it on my body or washing my sheets in it. When we think about laundry, there's never a time in 24 hours, okay, except maybe when we're got all our clothes off and we're in the shower, okay, when we're completely clothingless, that we're not in contact with clothing or fabric, right? We have clothes on, we put clothes on all day, we sleep on sheets all night, and we're always in contact with whatever our laundry products are. Synthetic fragrances and dyes, color and scent. They cause allergies, skin issues, respiratory issues. Those products that are like the optical brighteners, more toxic chemicals. And again, then we've got fabric softener, then we've got dryer sheets. I had a handful of years ago, I had somebody donate some hand-me-downs to my family. And when she brought them over to my house, I could smell whatever she washed the clothes in. I assume she probably used a lot of heavy scented fabric softener or dryer sheets or something. Like, there was an aroma that came off of these clothes. And so I took some things on hangers, and I hung it like in a room or on a doorknob, somewhere. I just kind of went, okay, thanks. And I hung it in the house. And the entire room where I hung the clothes smelled like that scent. So I thought, before anybody's going to wear these clothes, I need to wash them. And so I put them into the wash. Here was my key mistake. I put them into the wash with a load of just other laundry, other clothes that was just our laundry. When I washed and dried everything, instead of the smell coming out of the donated clothes, the residue that was on those clothes went into all of the other clothes in my load of wash. Then everything I had smelled like fabric softener and dryer sheets, my jeans, my clothes that didn't smell like that before. And I ended up having to wash these clothes multiple times to get out the residue, the scent, the fragrance that was in it. We all want things to smell good. We all want our homes to smell nice. There's so many smell good products out there, right? We've got Febreze, try not to name brands, right? We've got air freshener sprays. We've got plug-in things. We've got things we want to spray in the bathroom when the bathroom gets stinky. Until I learned better, I loved scented candles. Like, you would have to pry my pumpkin spice candle out of my cold, dead hands, right? I loved the pumpkin spice. But then I learned that the wax in those candles, and yes, let's just put it out there. Yes, there's a difference in Quality of candles. I have DIY candles with a friend who's like super crafty, and she uses homemade beeswax, like from her beeswax, and we put some essential oils in and we made candles. So yes, you can have a quote healthier candle. I'm talking about regular candles. Again, sorry to put a name brand on there, but that's what we all know and love. Candles that you just buy at the store that smell good, right? Whether they're like little votive candles or wick candles or jar candles, whatever. Typically, we'll just say regular candles are petroleum based. Remember what we said about petroleum. Petroleum is used to make gasoline, and we don't want petroleum on our body or inhaled. Candles like this contain diethyl phthalate, which causes irritation to the nose, eyes, throat, and respiratory system. They also contain benzene and toluene, which are linked to leukemia and disrupt the nervous system. The healthier way to have a beautiful fragrance in your home is to grab an essential oil diffuser and put some pure therapeutic grade essential oils in your diffuser. Again, we'll talk about oils a little bit later on, but there is a difference in quality depending on how the oils are grown and distilled. Again, that means not created in a chemistry lab, which a lot of essential oils are. They actually have to come from a plant that was grown in the ground and steam distilled without solvents to get the oil out of the plant. It's a whole thing. But if we can hit the mark on those good quality essential oils, get them in a diffuser, and the possibilities are endless as far as what scent do you like for your home, right? Do you like vanilla? Do you like something floral? Do you like something earthy? Do you want something that smells like fresh linen, right? We can make all kinds of combinations of oils that are going to be safe and support our health, support our immune system instead of harming ourselves. We're getting close to summer. And I'm watching the time. I don't want our little class to be too long, but let's talk about sunscreen before we get into the summer months. Bad news. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. Anything that you spray, and I'm going to say I believe anything that you spray has harsh chemicals in it. Now I'm starting to hear a little bit of buzz about some different sprays that might not. I haven't run across any of them yet. So if you find one, please let me know. I'm always curious to learn about different products that are being created with health in mind. But the typical sunscreen that we find in the store, whether it's a spray or whether it's a cream, I want you to look for a few of these ingredients. Oxybenzone, which disrupts the hormones. It mimics, blocks, and alters hormone levels, which can throw off your endocrine system. According to the CDC, 97% of Americans have this chemical circulating in our bodies already. As it can accumulate more quickly than our bodies can get rid of. It can cause eczema-like allergic reaction that can spread beyond exposed area and last long after you're out of the sun. Another one of those chemicals, when I say chemical, I mean harsh chemical that we see on sunscreen labels is octinoxate. Hormone disruption, the chemical's effects on estrogen can be harmful for humans and wildlife too, should they come in contact with the chemical once it gets into the water. They may actually be a culprit for premature aging as it produces menacing free radicals that can damage skin cells, right? So as we're trying to protect our skin, and I even put sunscreen, on my face, that damages our skin, right? It's like a paradox. So hang on, let me go back. Oh, can I go back a screen? Hang on, sorry about that. I wanted to talk a little bit about that before we flip to the next screen, but a couple of words on that, especially when those comments about how octinoxate is harmful to aquatic life. What you're going to see on the healthy sunscreens that are, you're going to want to look for mineral-based sunscreen. So look at the ingredients. Oxybenzone and octinoxate are not the only two harsh chemicals in sunscreen. There are others. And the tip off for that is it sounds like one of those chemical words. It may even end with own. There's other ones that end with own. But if it sounds like a chemical and not a mineral, then you know, because what you are looking for is something where the active ingredient is zinc. Sometimes I think you can even find titanium oxide, but most of them are zinc. If it's a mineral, yes, but then go read the rest of the inactive ingredients, right? Look for any of that, those other words. Look for fragrance, look for, any of the parabens or anything like that. But what you're going to find, what you want to look for on your mineral sunscreen is the words reef safe. It might have a little symbol. There might be a little logo for that, or it might just be the words reef safe. Reef safe means it's not harmful to aquatic life, and it won't harm, the great coral reef if you go out there. There's a lot of places, vacation spots, where you can go snorkeling, or if you're going out into other touristy type beaches, there are places that only will allow you to get into the water with a reef safe sunscreen, because everybody is beginning to know that the harmful chemicals are harming aquatic life. Now, again, if your mind is going to the place that says they care more about the coral reef and the aquatic life than they care about my body, yep, that's where my mind goes to, right? I can slather that oxybenzone and octinoxate all over my body. The FDA isn't concerned until I go to get in the water. I might harm the reef, the reef and the aquatic life. There is something drastically wrong with that, but it is what it is. What can I do? I can educate myself to read labels and make sure I get a reef safe sunscreen because it's safer for me. And I do have a brand that I prefer. So if you're curious about that, like, hey, Nina, what do you use? I'll let you know. Chemical overload, when we're using all of those harsh chemicals on our body over time, we can get a chemical overload. Our liver is that, the organ that processes all of that stuff, and our liver can get overloaded. Our liver can turn sluggish and not function properly when it ends up overloaded with all of these toxins. We might decide, and this can be a whole other class, right? Our class last month, and there's another video for this. If you go back in YouTube or if you want the link, we did a class last time on cleansing our body from the inside out, doing things like liver cleanse, what kinds of, foods or supplements or natural ways can we cleanse the inside of our body when we've got chemical overload. That class kind of sparked this being a part two, to go, well, if we cleanse our body from the inside out, if I do a liver cleanse and a colon cleanse and I cleanse whatever gunk might have been hanging around in my body, the key to maintaining good health is to not keep putting the toxins back in. So our part two was like, oh, well then what toxins are we talking about? What toxins should we make sure we're not putting back into our body? There's some symptoms, some red flags that we can look for to know if we're on an overload. Lethargy, inability to focus, sleep trouble, chronic inflammation, unexplained pain, fibromyalgia, skin issues or adult acne, hormonal issues, stress, anxiety, fear. If you're raising your hands on any one of those or even more than one, it's possible that you could be experiencing an overload of those toxic chemicals in your body, and doing some kind of a cleanse. First, stop the toxins. Then you might want to think about doing some kind of a cleanse to cleanse from the inside out. If that's something you're interested in, again, we have a class for that, but I can get you some info. Let's connect on that if that's something you're interested in. Household cleaner safety. So when we talk about just straight up cleaning, right? We've been talking a lot about personal care products and cleaning our bodies. What about kitchen, bathroom, sink, toilet, that kind of stuff? Here's a little side-by-side comparison. Again, the only reason I grabbed a name brand and said Formula 409 is because I actually had a really scary experience with that product quite a handful of years ago. I think I was probably in college. Again, didn't know any better, right? Once we know better, we do better. But I went to clean my bathroom and it wasn't a ventilated bathroom. It didn't have a window. And I think the fan, if it had a fan, either I didn't turn it on because, wasn't paying attention, or maybe even the fan wasn't operational. But anyway, I'm in this little enclosed area cleaning my shower with a really, really strong product like Formula 409. Spraying and cleaning and spraying and cleaning. And when I got done, I felt so exhausted that I laid down on my bed and I fell asleep. I didn't realize till later, I think I probably passed out because of the chemical, which was really scary when I realized, you know what? I was so lightheaded. I was so woozy. I think I passed out due to the chemical inhalation. When we look at, and I Googled this and I looked at their product website, when you look at the warning, all of the warnings on the material safety data sheet for this product, this is what they claim. This is their disclaimer. Wash hands after handling. If breathed in, move person into fresh air. If on skin or clothing, take off contaminated clothing. Rinse skin immediately with plenty of water. If swallowed, call Poison Control Center. Avoid contact with foods. When using, do not eat or drink. Now, okay, so that's really scary. If we talk about that product and what happens, we're not even supposed to touch it, right? Like if it touches your skin, you've got to wash your skin. The product that I clean my home with now that I know better, now that I don't want to be using harsh chemicals that can hurt me, is the Thieves Cleaner from the Young Living brand company. Young Living they steam distill all of their own essential oils, and they have a whole line of cleaning products that have no harsh chemicals in them. They're all plant-based and they're all free of all of those things we talked about, like the fragrance, the SLS, the parabens, all free of that. This really is my easy button, and Thieves Cleaner will clean everything: kitchen, counter, cutting board, bathroom sink, shower. It really can do it all. So when you think about all of the different things you might have, maybe like in your kitchen cupboard or in some other safe cupboard, right? Right? We need to keep those products safe from maybe even our kids because they're so toxic. The warning label on Thieves Cleaner says this: when first cleaning plastics, fabrics, or finished surfaces such as wood, perform a spot test on an inconspicuous area. Should staining occur, discontinue use immediately. It's not a toxic product warning. And then it says, keep out of the reach of children. That's common sense. Avoid contact with eyes, skin, and mucous membranes, meaning don't squirt the cleaner right in your eye, right? These are just typical, I think by law, you have to say that on a label. I clean my entire kitchen, including my cutting board, with Thieves Cleaner, including after raw chicken, right? So let me just say that. Does it clean all the things, right? I cut up raw chicken, I spray Thieves Cleaner on my cutting board and wipe it off, and then I cut the veggies for my salad. And I don't have to worry that any chemical residue that's going to be harmful to me is going to end up on my veggies after I sprayed my cutting board. Now think about Formula 409. Would I want to spray that on my counter and then cut food on it? Not, right? So I feel completely safe spraying my Thieves Cleaner, and my dog might be in the room or my kids might be in the room. And I'm not worried when I spray that anybody is going to get harmed by it. Thieves Cleaner brand even has, it's because they have a whole line of cleaning products. There is a fruit and veggie wash that's a Thieves fruit and veggie wash that you can soak your produce in that has essential oils in it. It's infused with oils that will not only clean your produce, but also be totally safe when you're ready to eat it. So I've given you some tools to be able to go to the store and read every single label, and now you know what you're looking for. But the truth is, who has time to read every single label? Do you have time to read every single label at the store? Because I've done that, and you know what? It's, I don't love spending my time doing that. Who wishes they could buy everything all in one store, right? That's another thing too. Like if I have to go to one store for this and one store for that, that also, not everybody has time to do. Who wants an easy button? An easy button where you know all of the ingredients are safe and you can get everything all in one store, a one-stop shop. Because you can DIY a lot of stuff. You can DIY laundry soap. I know people who do that. They use different ingredients and they put it together and they do a DIY laundry soap. I DIY face wash. I've done that too. I've got a whole class where we DIY face wash and face serum and everything for like a whole skincare thing. You absolutely can. And you can infuse those with essential oils if you like. And you can make a lot of things. You can use vinegar for a lot of cleaning projects. Now, side note, I wouldn't just use vinegar if I was wiping raw meat off my cutting board. So we want to be mindful of making sure we're killing all the, the yucky things we want to kill when we're cleaning certain things. So I do have an easy button for you if you're like, hey, this information is great, but it's overwhelming to me to have to go through every single product. What's the easier way? The easier way when we want to make healthy choices because we know we're the gatekeepers of our home and we can read all the labels and make healthier choices. But I have another piece of good news, right? I said the beginning of the class was the bad news. Here's the good news. We can make DIY products, including skincare, with household ingredients like vinegar, baking soda, Castile soap, essential oils, etc. But we can also make Young Living our one-stop shop, knowing their products contain the ingredients we want, and they don't contain any of the ingredients we don't want. I have, over time, switched out all of my personal care stuff and all of my cleaning products to use Young Living products. I love their quality. I love the ease of use. I love that I can just grab what I need without reading every single label every single time. And we can earn points for free products when we take advantage of the loyalty rewards program. That was key for me to go, you know what? Each month, loyalty rewards is like a wellness subscription where you make a purchase each month. You create a little, a personalized wellness box. You can put whatever you want in it. So one month I might grab some Thieves Cleaner, the household cleaner, or some shampoo or some essential oils. And the next month I need something different. Obviously, I might not need more cleaner because it lasts a really long time. I might not need shampoo. Then I can get something different. I could get some shower gel. I can get some essential oils. I can get some supplements. There's more good news. So you see that little logo on there that says Seed to Seal. That's Young Living's guarantee. It's the guarantee for all of their products that they don't strip constituents to make their oils smell better. So when we talked a little bit about essential oils, right? A few minutes ago. And I've studied Young Living's process. I have physically been to their farm to see how they grow their plants, to see how they distill their oils. And they're the only essential oil company that will let you visit a farm in person and view their entire process. It's astounding. But a couple of their practices are key when we talk about essential oil quality. They don't strip constituents to make oils smell better. That means because some essential oil companies, when they distill an oil, they will, at a molecular level, take out certain heavy constituents that have a tendency to make the oil smell a little bit more earthy. Some oils, let's be honest, because it comes straight out of a plant, it might not be an enjoyable scent. But if you manipulate that and pull out the stinky molecules and only leave the pleasant smelling molecules, you're going to get an oil that smells really light and happy and desirable. But the problem with that is if you miss out on all of those other molecules, you're not going to get the therapeutic effect that that oil has the potential to give you. If we want to use our oils therapeutically for our health, you're missing out on some health, some things that could help your health, if that makes sense. They will never distill their oils with solvents such as hexane. They only use steam distillation. The good and bad of that is when you only steam distill, you leave behind a certain amount of oil that you can draw out if you use a solvent like hexane. You can get more oil out of the plant material if you use a solvent. Now, if you're a company that wants to make a lot of money and you want to lower the cost of your product, you don't want to miss out on any of the oils remaining in the plant material. Okay, are you seeing where I'm going with this? If you only use steam to distill your product might be a little more pricey, but you can, right? You can get more plant material with the hexane. Remember, hexane is a petroleum product. Octane is what we put in our gas tank. That's 8 molecules with carbon. Hexane is 6 molecules with carbon, and it's still from petroleum. If you distill your oils with a solvent, you end up with petroleum in solvent in your oil. Now, when I go to the health food store and I look at all the essential oils on the rack, right? I'm not going to name brands of what typically gets sold on Amazon and at health food stores. Can you know from the label how that oil was distilled and if it was distilled with a solvent? They don't have to disclose that on the label. Key point. There's no government regulation agency that regulates labeling of essential oils. There's not. It means anything can be said on a label, and there's no government agency to determine that. It means the burden is on the consumer to research the essential oil company and know where the plants are grown, how the plants are grown. Are the seeds non-GMO? Are they, how are the farms treated? How are the plants harvested? How are the plants distilled? How are they bottled? Young Living doesn't spray any weed killers, pesticides, herbicides, or use GMO seeds. They do spend $12,000 per acre to hand weed lavender, as well as all of their other plants. The industry standard is $60 an acre to spray chemicals. So if you're familiar with Young Living, or maybe you've only looked at their website and went, oh, price. This is why. This is why a bottle of lavender from Young Living is a particular price, and a bottle of lavender from the health food store or from Amazon is a fraction of the cost. This is why. And this is why I choose to only use their brand of oils. Now let's do a little bit of math. We're going to wrap it up here quick. I don't want to take too much more of your time, but I'm not a huge math whiz or a math genius, but I love when math works out in my favor. Check this out. One bottle of Thieves Cleaner concentrate. That's what it looks like in the bottle. It's 14.4 ounces, and you might even go, oh, that's not that much. Why is that bottle of cleaner $25.50? That's the discounted wholesale price, by the way. Here's why. Here's why this is a phenomenal deal. That bottle, all you use is one capful in a 16-ounce spray bottle of water. One capful. And that bottle of concentrate will make more than 25 spray bottles. Now let's do the math. Thieves Cleaner is less than $1 per bottle when you dilute it. Think about whatever cleaner you might be using in your home. It might be a name brand, it might be a store brand. I'll bet it costs more than $1. So we can use the best quality and get the best deal. Just because it's high end or healthy or plant-based doesn't mean it has to be out of our budget. There is a kit that comes with a little of everything. It's called the Make a Shift Happy Healthy Home Kit. If you look at that little picture, so let's say you're just thinking like, okay, I think I want to get started swapping some stuff out. I'm flabbergasted at all of these toxic things, and I don't want that in my house anymore. How do I just hit the easy button? How do I get, where do I even start? You can purchase, if you want to make a purchase from Young Living, you can purchase each of those products separate. You absolutely can. If you just wanted to buy one bottle of Thieves Cleaner, you totally can. But they've bundled it for ease of use, and they called it Make a Shift. That's the whole point. Let's make a shift to a healthier lifestyle. And what you're going to get for $112 is here's your bottle of Thieves Cleaner and a glass bottle for mixing it, one capful, fill that with water. You're also going to get a dish soap. You're going to get a scrub, a kitchen and bath scrub. This is like the powdered shaker stuff that you scour the sink with, that you scour your grout with. I swear by that because I have one of those old porcelain farmhouse sinks that's all scratched up and it gets stained. I love the Thieves Kitchen and Bath Scrub. You're also going to get a laundry soap. Right? I feel like, lights coming down from the sky. The laundry soap, I love it. I've been using the laundry soap for years. Now there's a hack where you can make that laundry soap last, and that little bottle is 64 loads because again, you only fill that tiny cap that's about a tablespoon. So that laundry soap will last 64 loads. It's super concentrated, but there's a recipe where you can make that laundry soap last 6 to 8 months. All right. I do a lot of laundry. I've got 3 adults at my house. We go through a lot of laundry. I've got a recipe. It's on a blog post. So I will, note to self down in the notes section, down in the comments, I'm going to put my blog post where I share the recipe of combining the laundry soap with the Thieves Cleaner. You dilute it with water in a pump bottle, and that laundry soap will last you more than 6 months. So awesome, right? Everything is super concentrated. Now, when we look at that price, $112, if you've already got a Young Living account, you don't have to be a special member. There's nothing, it's not like that. You can't just be a customer, grab some cleaning products. If you've got a Young Living account, it's $112. But here's the good news. If you don't have a Young Living account yet, I have a code, like a purchasing link and a discount code. This is, right, you might be watching this later on, April of 2024. For the month of April, right now, there's a 20% off code because there's a little sale going on right now for spring. The spring cleaning code will get you 20% off of that price. If you're watching this and it's not April of 2024, maybe it's, later on, maybe the spring cleaning sale might be done. I still have a 10% off code for you. That's standard first-time customer code. So if you're thinking about getting started and you've never shopped with Young Living before, let me know so that I can get you those discount codes and you can get the best deal possible. Young Living also has a full line of essential oils and personal care products, shampoo, deodorant, skin care. Check out what they've got. Anything you might want for personal care, grab it, use the subscription, earn the points. Here's a little bit more about how the subscription works, because this is, if you want to get the most bang for your buck and earn points on stuff that you would buy anyway, this is how you do it. Their subscription is called Loyalty Rewards. So you can start out with one of those little bundles like that, like the cleaning bundle, or not. You can build a bundle yourself, right? Like, can I do a la carte and build my own bundle? Absolutely. And then when you use the Create Loyalty Order button, it sets it up for loyalty points. You're going to get 10% back for 3 months. Then after that, each monthly order earns you 20% back. After 24 months and the 25th month, that goes up to 25%. Now, let me tell you, if you're purchasing your cleaning and your personal care stuff at a regular store, right? Could be Walmart, could be Target, could be the grocery store. They're not going to give you points back for shopping there. Who does that? You know, I'm at the point now where I'm earning 25% back from Young Living for my loyalty purchase. So if I spend $100 on stuff that I would buy anyway, right? Cleaning, shampoo, shower gel, soap, deodorant. If I bought that at Walmart, it's going to have yucky ingredients in it, and I'm not going to get 25% back. If I get that from Young Living, it helps my health, right? That's my top priority. And on a $100 purchase, I get $25 back to spend on a future purchase. Who does that? No store does that. You know, they might give you a few little, discounts here and there, but that is the best way to get everything you need. Also, too, when you use the loyalty subscription, your second order earns you a free essential oil diffuser. So bam, points, freebies, free diffuser. Why not give it a try, right? So that's that is everything that you need to know. Our last slide here is just a thank you. Thank you for being here and thank you for joining us. And if you have an idea or a desire on your heart that there's something you want to know more about, I always open it up to anybody in my classes to say, hey, what would you be curious about learning next? Cooking with essential oils, skincare. I have a class for oils of ancient scripture, health benefits of Ningxia Red, one of my favorite supplements, VitaFlex, which is like a vitality through the reflexes. It's an acupressure class. Raindrop technique is acupressure plus essential oils. Essential oils for emotional support, essential oil blending. Yes, essential oils are one of the loves of my life because they've made such a difference in my health. But if any of those topics pique your curiosity and you'd like to know more, again, reach out. I'm going to drop my contact info down there so that we can keep in touch. I would love to know what your health goals are. If there's any way that I can be helpful for you, I've got lots of free resources and I definitely love connecting and being helpful. So thank you again. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And again, reach out. Take care. Bye-bye.